Well, it's Christmas season and it's snow season, and it looks like a pretty reasonable week in GTA Online with a few decent discounts. So let's take a look at what's actually worth grabbing from the updates released Thursday, 22nd of December 2022. Hi and welcome back. My name's Dan and I'm an old grumpy gamer. Well, it seems like a reasonable week in GTA Online with some vehicle and even weapon discounts. But before we dive in, if you find this helpful, we do lots of Grand Theft Auto Online guides, tips and tricks. So if you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell for more content like this. On to vehicles, starting with the Velum 5-seater, which is normally $1,323,350. But is on sale this week at 30% off, bringing it to $926,345. And this tops out at about 139 miles an hour or around about 223 Ks. This thing is possibly the most hated plane in the game because of Kyo. It's really slow to respond and doesn't maneuver at all. Is it worth getting though? Well, I mean, sure, if you're a masochist, go for it. But my vote is to skip this one. Looking at the Infernus Classic, which is normally $915 grand, but is on sale this week at 30% off, bringing it down to $645. The Infernus Classic is a 2-seater rear-wheel drive 6-speed sports classic. It tops out at about 118 miles an hour or about 188 Ks. This thing's pretty quick for what it is, and it pulls reasonably hard too. The handling on the Infernus is quite reasonable, but it's still pretty lively even so. Great for nostalgia nerds though. Is it worth the effort though? Well, yeah, actually, absolutely. It's a versatile sports classic, and the discount means you can spend more money on something else. Grab it if you have the cash. Looking at the Toros, which is normally $498 grand, but is on sale this week at 30% off, bringing it down to $348.6. The Toros is a 4-seater, all-wheel drive, 8-speed SUV that tops out at 127 miles per hour or about 204 Ks. This thing is fast and it gets up to speed really quickly. The handling on the Toros lets it down a fair bit, making it a bit of a challenge to drive on the regular roads around the map though. Is it worth the effort? Well, not really. It's just a bit ordinary and doesn't serve much of a purpose. Honestly, leave it. Jumping over to the Tailgater S, which is normally $1,495,000, but is on sale this week at 30% off, bringing it down to $1,046,005. The Tailgater S is a 4-seater, rear-wheel drive, 6-speed tuner that tops out at about 115 miles per hour, about 185 Ks. This thing's pretty quick for what it is and pulls reasonably hard too. The handling on the Tailgater S is reasonable, but a little lively for my taste. Is it worth getting though? I mean, it's not a bad car, but it's not a particularly good one either, so my vote would be to skip this one. Flipping over to the armoured Schafter V12, which is normally $325,000, but is on sale this week at 30% off, bringing it down to $227.5. The armoured variant of the Schafter V12 is a 4-seater, rear-wheel drive 6-speed sedan that tops out at 123 miles an hour or just shy of 200 Ks. This thing is quick for what it is and it gets up to speed pretty solidly too. The handling on the Schafter is really neat. Is it worth the effort? Absolutely. It's versatile and the discount means that you can spend more on something else. Grab it if you have the money. Moving on to the Stromberg, which is normally $3,185,350, but is on sale this week at 30% off, bringing it down to $2,229,745. The Stromberg is a 2-seater, rear-wheel drive, 6-speed sports classic that tops out at 112 miles per hour or about 180 Ks. It's also a submersible based on the James Bond Lotus. This thing's pretty quick for what it is and it gets up to speed reasonably quickly. The submersibility and the missiles are quite neat as well, and the handling on the Stromberg is quite reasonable, but it's still very lively. Should you grab it though? Nah, really no. The Toreador absolutely destroyed the market for this one, so spend a few extra bob and go for that instead. Okay, let's have a look at the Granger 3600 XL, which is normally $1,380,000, but is on sale this week at 30% off, bringing it down to $966 grand. This thing's pretty quick for what it is, but the sluggish acceleration lets it down a bit. The handling on the Granger lets it down a fair bit too, but that's not too bad because it takes you a bit of time before you get up to speed. So, is it worth the money? I mean, if you want one, then yeah, the discount will make it a bit more attractive, but honestly, I'm not a massive fan. Grab it if you're particularly keen, leave it if you have any doubts though. Next up, we have weapons with the homing launcher, which is a heavy weapon that typically retails for 75 grand, but is down 50% this week to 37.5. The rate of fire on this one is, at best, abysmal. Unfortunately, it does not make up for it with accuracy, even though it hits hard when it actually hits. If you are keen though, you can purchase it from Ammunition more or less straight out of the gate. That said, is it worth the effort? Well, yeah, absolutely. It's a really good weapon, and the discount means that you can spend more money on something else, so grab it if you have the cash. We'll also reserve judgment on the MW27 pistol for now, but we'll come back to that once we've done a complete review. And that's it for this week's discounts. Check out the link top right for this week's GTA Online updates, or the one down the bottom for a bit of a money guide. In the meantime, if you're new to the channel, subscribe for more content like this. Thanks for watching. Stay safe, wash your hands, and we'll see you in the next video.